Hi, everybody. Welcome back to meditation this evening. As I've mentioned before, tonight I'd like to practice a gratitude meditation. But before we get into that, a couple of quick things. First of all, after talking to a few different people and getting some feedback, I've decided that 8:30 is going to work better than 8 o'clock, so 8:30 it will be. I'll probably take tomorrow off and be back on Friday, and I'll be here for Friday at 8:30. So going back to gratitude meditation, I think especially in a situation like we are all in right now, whenever, at least certainly here and most places are under some sort of social distancing or isolation or have restrictions on, we can't do all of the things that we want to do. And certainly here, if we're independent and we would like to do what we like to do and like to do what we want to do, sometimes that could be difficult. So we need to learn how to work with that. And a lot of that, I think it's based on, in my opinion, I guess it's my opinion, but it's backed up a little bit, is that as human beings, we seem to be a little bit wired to want things that we don't have. And we really like to get carried away with that sometimes. So it's like, if I want something, I want something. Or, I might have something that I'm happy with, but, maybe I want a new car or a nicer whatever. And that's part of being an American, I suppose. But it's interesting if we think about, I remember my parents always having the conversation, well, is that something you need or something you want? Anyway, I'm kind of rambling, but tonight I want to look at a practice that'll help us become more appreciative of what we do have, and hopefully that'll also sort of help us not want so much or to look elsewhere for happiness. In the yogic tradition, there's this idea called santosha, which, if you know anything about yoga, you know the yamas, and the niyamas are the preliminary practices that precede what most people think of practicing yoga. And these are practices to calm the mind, to get it ready for meditation or get it ready for yoga practices. And santosha is one of the niyamas, which are the things you're supposed to do. The niyamas, and santosha means contentment. It's probably the closest thing in that tradition you're going to find to gratitude. And when we talk about contentment, we talk about being happy with what we have, or whatever we have is enough and it's good enough. So when we practice our gratitude meditation or practicing santosha, the whole idea is to be appreciative of what we have. There's a contemporary Christian author, writer named Anne Lamott, and she believes that one of the three most powerful forms of prayer is simply saying thank you. The first time I heard that, I thought, oh, that's kind of cool. But the more I thought about it, the more I thought, oh, that's pretty powerful. So when I do this meditation with my students in my classes, we tend to, they like to call it the thank you meditation. And that's essentially what it is. So we'll move right into that. So come into whatever a comfortable seated position for you is. Again, sitting up with a nice long neutral spine. Have your shoulders relaxed. Have your hands resting on your knees or folded in the lap. Have your chin slightly tucked. And we'll start with a few deep conscious breaths. As you breathe in, know that you are breathing in. And as you breathe out, know that you are breathing out. As any thoughts come up, allow them to come up. Note them briefly and without judgment. And with an exhalation, simply let them go, returning your full awareness to the breath. And now, consciously start to bring to mind the different things that you are grateful for. They could be something pretty small. They could be something huge. It could be anything. So simply anything that comes to mind, whatever it might be, say thank you. The last several days I've been practicing a gratitude journal on Facebook, and I've been trying to do an additional part of the challenge to avoid repeats. So, which for the first few days is not that difficult, but as you get to think about, it's great because, well, on one hand, you start to realize, oh, I'm grateful for a whole lot of things, and look at all the things that I already have. But whenever you're trying not to list the same thing that you've listed before, it's like, oh, I'm grateful for bananas, which I am. But some of the things come to mind. It's like, oh, where'd that come from? But, so whatever it is, whatever you have that you are grateful for, say thank you. Thank you for waking up this morning. Say thank you to your partner. Thank you to anything. anything that comes to mind, allow it, notice it, say thank you. One thing that I have found since I've started doing this and offering these practices is that, well, my whole goal of trying to begin to develop a sense of community and come together, even though we're all from different locations and different things, but it seems like it's starting to work. And I'm very grateful for that. And I'm grateful for just sort of seeing who's been watching and seeing where we're watching from and things like that. It's like, yes, it's like we're all alone, but we're also together. And that makes me very happy. And also that I think that I mean, social media, definitely it's a double-edged sword, but I think when used in times like this and in situations like this where we need some sort of social interaction, it's been great. Doesn't make up for the real thing, but we can't really do that right now. So, yes, that's just a long-winded way of me saying thank you very much for coming to practice with me. It means a lot, and I sometimes hope to actually practice in person with all of you. But until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and I will plan on being here Friday evening at 8:30, and I hope to see you then. Thanks.